It's 4:51 in the morning. It's August 14th, 2022. Okay, so I don't know if you've been following me or not, but I have been dealing with a lot of situations. And one of the situations I was dealing with is trying to discover the remains of my father. Um, it's all a mystery, and I'm trying to put the puzzle together, which I have all the pieces, and I just need to put it together. So um, I know that my dad was at East Orlando Hospital. That's where he departed from his flesh from on December 25th, 2011. I signed the paperwork. I went and picked up this lady that was around me when I was growing up in Oviedo, Florida, named Pineapple Smith, Arlandis Smith. And we waited for a man named Rodriguez Lee that said, he looked out for my daddy, but Pineapple told me that he was selling crack to my daddy, base hard, whatever you want to call it, but crack cocaine is what he was in my daddy's life for, or how he probably even came in contact with my daddy in the first place. Long story short, December 25th, I took Al out for life support. I went back to my brother Kirk Blaine house, and at 8:26, 8:38, 6:38, 6:38, the nurse called me and said, that was it for Adlai Wilson, my dad, Al Wilson. Most people would know him by. And I cried. I remember I cried. I was up in my brother's house, Kirk, which is my mother's son, only son. And I cried. My sister Renata came up there and tried to console me or whatever, but the love just never felt real. So I always felt that I had to do things by myself. So I was okay with that. I just lost my mama 6 months prior to that in July. They say the 6th, but July 7th, 2011. So I'm not stable. I'm always wondering why people I love have to die. And the ones that really don't mean too much to me is the ones that's still around me. So I came to the conclusion after years later that something was fishy because of the way things kept happening around me. So I decided to make a YouTube channel, a Facebook, and start, just video cameraing myself and what would come out, okay? So I wanted to get this on recording too because I don't want it to slip my mind. But I was at the hospital with Orlando Smith and Rodriguez Lee. Rodriguez Lee was sitting there telling me about how he took care of my daddy, Blase the third, but I know my daddy won't take care of himself. So he didn't want to tell me that he was selling my daddy crack cocaine, so he put it in the form of he was helping Al. And seeing how he gave Al shoes and stuff, and him and Al feet ain't even the same. I remember looking at his shoe but never saying nothing because I already knew these people was up to no good. My daddy on his deathbed asked me did I want his insurance policy, did I need his money. I told daddy no because I didn't want daddy to feel like I don't need his money. He need to die so I can get the money. I just I just didn't feel the need to tell my dad that, yeah, daddy, I need your money, when I really, really did. But my daddy probably was testing me, because he always said to me, Vanessa, I just want all y'all to get along. I say, Daddy, it's not me. I love my sisters and brothers, but I know their mama is poison. She been poisoned for as long as I can remember, and they don't know the damage that they really caused in my life. The trauma from a child coming up, from me having to hear her constantly tell my dad, Al, you gonna suffer. You're gonna suffer, Al, all day long. Like, what did he do so wrong? That all you could do is tell him over and over, Al, you gonna suffer. Al, you gonna suffer. And he just never say anything. He just, walk around like he don't even hear us saying these things to him. And I know my daddy was a good man. So on December 25th, 2011, when I walked into the room, it was a brown envelope sitting in the window. I took the envelope and I put it in my car. That convinced me that if there was anything, because I had somebody with me that needed to get back to work that drove me down there. So I let Rodriguez Lee get the envelope that I went and put in my car so that he can make the arrangements and do the right thing for my dad. If there was anything, he said he would take care of it for me. So after a while, he said he was going to take the body to Baldwin. Then it ended up going to Golden. I don't know. Contact got lost between where the body was going to go and where the body ended up. Okay, so I had this big upheaval in 2011, steady calling the funeral home, the Golden's funeral home, getting in arguments with people, the staff at the funeral home, about where's my dad. They told me, if you don't stop calling here, we're going to get those people on you. And I'm like, well, what kind of business, what kind of people say this when this is, I'm grieving? I'm pure grieving because I want to know where my daddy is. Since 2011, I've been trying to contact the people. I don't take threats lightly, so I stopped calling them for a while. And it's in the pop in my head like, you need to figure out where's your daddy. Your daddy's not comfortable. He's not happy. You're not happy with the outcome of the situation yourself. You see everyone else around it give a fuck or don't. So I called again. They even chose to meet with me on March 1st, 2022. And when I went there to that place, he took a picture of my birth certificate. Mr. James Golden, I want to say that's his name. I really didn't get into it because I know that, you know what I'm saying, these people know what they did and they're covering it up because they know the rules and the laws. You get what I mean? And so those people, when one of the old employees or staff that, one of the old staff members that was there, I have to get the paperwork to look at it, see what his name is and all of that. But at one point they was saying like, oh, we'll just ship you the cremains. I'm like, no, I'm not satisfied with that. Just because I don't know what I'm getting. You know what I'm saying? People from the funeral home, Pineapple Orlando Smith told me that they was cousins, that Rodriguez Lee and the people at the funeral home had some type of like relative relationship. Okay, so that was another puzzle to me, knowing that what my dad told me, that he had an insurance policy, and it was a brown envelope in the window in the room. So why wouldn't I? And this man in the lobby while my daddy in there dying telling me, oh, he did this and he did that and he feel like he deserved this. So I gave him the envelope in goodwill, hoping that he would take care of the situation. But here it is, 2020, and there's no cremains. And the funeral home saying, oh, they don't have a record of it. So who are these people in 2011 that y'all threatened me if I didn't stop calling there, that y'all was going to get on me? Is it the same ones that been putting spells on me since I was a kid? When I seen this lady standing over me, I was at her house. My dad dated her, supposedly have kids with her. You get what I mean? But you can do DNA tests, whatever. We'll find out all of that, okay? But at this lady house one evening, whatever, in the back room, I'll never forget this shit. The house was already spooky and creaky, empty and cracky, like you'll fall through the fucking floor, like if you don't move right on the wood. Okay, but I remember I was in there, laid on my side on a bunk bed in the back, and I just woke up, but I didn't move, and I just saw her standing over me. And I'm thinking, like, what the fuck is she doing over me, right? So I didn't move. And out of nowhere, my daddy just came in there flying. My daddy flew in there like Superman out of nowhere. And my daddy just started beating that lady. All she could say was, hell, get off me. Hell, stop. And I lay there like I ain't see nothing and hear nothing. Because I trust my dad. I ain't trust her standing over me. And my dad came in out of nowhere. I know God sent him because I don't know what kind of dangers I was in while that lady was over me, what she was doing. Now that I'm old enough to know that people do evil things to people. And yes, I do feel like she's responsible for a lot of stuff that happened to the Wilson family. As far as when it comes to my Aunt Sharon, my grandma, anything else that's dealing with my people. That's in Washington, D.C. Because I remember they supposed to had to pick me up. My mom was going to meet my dad somewhere on 75 or 95 somewhere, so that when they coming from Florida, I'm in Georgia, they would pick me up and take them with me to Washington. But somehow I never got picked up. So that I can meet my people. So my brother Seth, I thought that our relationship and bond was real, but come to find out, I always knew that Seth like he would choose his mama over me and his daddy. I just know the power she had over her children, mine. And I just know the type of person she is. Okay? That's his mother I'm talking about. So, Seth would never, he said he talked to my other siblings that my daddy have and everything like that. But he never would like hook us up on Facebook or put us on a three-way call. But Seth would always call me when he feel like he needed me. And I was okay with talking to my brother because that's my brother. And if he need me, like, why wouldn't I be there for him? But was always wondering, like, why he didn't want all of us to be there for each other. It never made sense to me. So I stopped talking and stuff because it's like he tried to keep this type of control over me. Like, who needs you? I'm the only one you're gonna talk to. Like, no. And we all can't be together and get along. And I don't want nobody. It's just how I felt. Because you're not going to put stipulations on me when I'm constantly asking you. I have text messages in my phone where I'm constantly asking him, like, so why won't you introduce me to my daddy's other kids since you know them? I want to know them too. Like, why wouldn't you? But as the goats, as the show never happened, don't even know them. And I might just have to live with that for the rest of my time here and be okay with it. But I know the God I serve is going to fix every hole that I still have a concern about, because I know it was a lot of foul play to how all this came to play in the first place. Me being naive, not thinking that people are so evil, because I just never think that people would be so nasty to the point where they don't even want you to meet your other siblings, or to the point where they're jealous because of how you look, or to the point where they want what you got, to where they'll do anything and never stop, constantly spinning their head under the moon, drinking blood, doing whatever they have to do to keep their rituals afloat against someone that, excuse me, don't even know how it go. But over the years had to learn how to protect yourself after they took everything from around you, even your mama and your daddy too. God, I pray that you have mercy on these people, because they didn't know who I was, God. They didn't know that you sent me here. They didn't know that I was your child, your servant. But God, I am that. And God, forever I will be that. And my yes is my yes. So we're gonna ride this thing on out. Um, I appreciate you guys for stopping by, listening to me. It's still painful for me to talk about, but at least I'm able to talk about it. And I know that that's a part of the process for me, is to heal from it, regardless the outcome, because vengeance is the Lord's and I can never get in the way, okay, of what God is doing for me. Because my yes is my yes to Him. So He gets the glory at the end, okay, in between, in the beginning, because that's who I'm working for. And I want you guys to take this journey with me so we can all see what I worked so hard for. Because I was writing yesterday, and the the people that you call when you have a complaint about cemetery or funeral home, those people email me a letter stating that they didn't see the allegations that I said, and they didn't see what the funeral home was out of the code line of whatever the numbers were. And I have that document too. So, but Spirit already told me that they was gonna pay this person off. The one that took my investigation in the first place, Spirit had already told me that they was going to pay this person off because I'm one person against many large business and establishment with people that have money that can come together against me in the 3D and the physical, right? But my team comes from the spiritual realm, my ancestors, and Elohim and the universe. And no matter, and my dad, my mom, and all my beloved loved ones, they say they fine. You know what I'm saying? But I also wanted to say, like, that listen who my team is: the universe, Elohim, the angels. You know, that's who I vibe with heavily. And so they don't sleep nor slumber, so they know what these people did. These people know what they did. But for some reason the law just can't see. Justice is blind. And it's time for the veil to come off. And I want y'all to see exactly what I mean when I say the veil is gonna fall off of these situations around me. The veil is going to fall off. I'm hearing not only for me, but for you guys too, because there's some situations y'all been through that y'all don't have answers to either, and y'all want some answers. Okay? And it's not my story, but it's yours just as well. It's your story that you need pieces to so that you can heal. And together, I always say two is better than one. So let's come together and heal, because that's the most important thing about going through a situation. Being able to withstand and make it to the end and be able to release it by talking about it, writing it down, venting, however. But it's all about healing. So together we can do that by sharing and having each other's back. And I'm trying to, it's just a part that I want to put out right now. I also want to mention in this recording, no, I'm going to keep it one at a time because there's several situations. But I want to show y'all, I want to see exactly how to break them down and where they connected when it comes to the people in the 3D, because they have connections from one group to the other group, like trying to surround me. One person now. One person, to the point where they harming, they doing things to the kids, like maybe making baby dolls of your kids, having the kids around with a smart mouth for not wanting to do their chores, and, just confliction in your household. You just don't want you to have peace because they already know they done sold they soul, so they ain't got shit to lose. But they want you to be on that same level and that same energy and that same frequency. And you know that's not you, so you steady having to fight for your victory, for your soul, so that you don't be bitter and be out here just doing vicious things just because you're hurt and you're alone. And you know what I mean? You know the toxic traits of people that want to see you do good but not better than them. So they want to keep jabbing at your side. You know, you done conquered one situation. You done got the victory. You moving on up the ladder, moving on out the way, you know, but there's always a hater. Like they say, new levels, new devils. So understand that it's true. The higher you go, that don't mean that the devil's gonna fall off. They going too. So you have to be prepared, be developed, take the necessary steps to develop for your next stage. Um, yeah, it's a lot, but I'm going to go ahead and get this stuff out. I'm going to do it the best way I know how. And try to get it all out and see how to make it into a documentary. Put it in a book, you know what I'm saying? But I feel like right now you just hearing my voice and me actually telling you, and you getting the real raw emotions uncut. This is going to be the best version of it. I love when things are recorded the first time. Anything I do, I don't like the whatever happened the first time, even in a picture. Like if I capture it, boom. Especially my recordings, I don't like to pre-record, or you get what I'm saying? Like, oh, I messed up, let me start over. No, I like that first edition, that first record, like that real raw, like ain't gotta cut nothing out, scrape nothing up, fix that, nothing. Those are the best to me. So this is definitely the first one I'm going to be putting on my platform so that you guys can really understand the way I speak and why I speak the way I speak and use the words I use when I do use them, and when I turn up in my voice and in my tone and my attitude, and I get aggressive sometimes, and I even cry. You get what I mean? And all of that's just going to be some things I'm not afraid to share. I never really have been. I just was looking for an outlet, and I found me a physical outlet, and I'm willing to use that in my platforms to push what I'm trying to say. Okay? But I don't want to hold you guys too much longer. Like I said, I just want to say thank you for stopping by, listening to me, hearing me out. While I work it out, okay, because this is a process for me, and I'm willing to take the journey because I told God yes, and my yes is my yes. I don't, I don't, I don't mind the things I have to go through. Okay, and I done been through a lot, and I still kept my good heart through every situation I was faced with or put into or what have you. Okay, no, I never changed how I look at people because I know this one thing here: love them like I love myself, and I love myself. So I continue to give love, and I will continue to give love because I love myself. And that's enough for me to be able to love others, even when they don't love themselves, even when they, you know, don't even know which way a road to go. But I will continue to love me, heal thyself, and spread the love so that we can all heal thyself. All right, y'all. I love y'all. I send you guys nothing but love, light, peace. All right.